3, 2, 1.
So welcome once again to another episode of Scott Talks Law. So this is an episode whereby Scott talks law. And in this episode, we're going to do an introduction to the course of medical law and ethics. So this course of medical law and ethics is the course that is concerned with the medical area or the medical field. So this is the course that is concerned with governing and regulating the entire medical field, the conduct and ethics that are associated with the medical field. So this is the course that deals with issues such as clinical negligence and cases where someone had a duty of care that he breached that resulted in damages. So we all know that it is the sole responsibility of the government to ensure the well-being of individuals within a particular nation or the well-being of citizens. So the government, to ensure the well-being of citizens, the government can come up with provisions, either statutory or constitutional provisions, that will ensure that people attain that attainable standards of medication and they live in a well, comfortable environment. So criminal law, which is a crime against the state, someone will be liable if he does a harmful act against another person. And the tort officer will be liable for wrongful acts that he does. It's also under contract law, goods are supposed to be of fit for purpose or suitable for purpose of the merchandisable qualities. So you'll get to know that all these are just ways in which the government is trying to ensure that people's welfare is covered for and people live in that well environment, and people have that comfort that they need, and the rights are catered for by the government, right to medication and attainable health. So this course of medical law and ethics unravels a lot of issues that are associated with medical law. So this is the course that is concerned with regulating the quality of medication and the quality of health, medical law, to ensure that the health that is provided is of that suitable quality. So this course also ensures that there is accessibility to medical facilities by citizens or by people, by ensuring that people are able to access medical services, and the entire society or the entire social group is satisfied by the services that are being offered. So this course also deals with the relationship between the medical providers and the consumers of these services. So the relationship between the doctor and the patient is dealt with by studying this course of medical law and ethics. So it is important to study this medical law and ethics because it is the main course or the main course that is able to deal with the complexities and the universalities that is associated with the medical field. So it's also important to study this course because it introduces lawyers to problems that are faced by other professions in other fields in the medical field. So by studying this course, lawyers are able to understand the problems that other professions in this medical field face. It's also important to study this course because it will help us to understand the prudent ways of using laws to meet our health needs and attain standards of health living. So it's also important to study this course because by studying this course, we'll be able to know how healthcare services are being transmitted from the government to the healthcare sector, and to ensure that there is social justice. So it's important to study this course of medical law and ethics to ensure that there is social justice. So the scope of this course is that this course helps us to know issues that are related to medical law, such as abortion. And you find that abortion in Kenya is illegal and it's a crime in Kenya, but there are certain instances that abortion can be exempted or can be allowed, instances where a mother's life is at risk. So abortion will be allowed in those instances. So the scope of this course is also helps us to understand issues to do with assisted dying, areas where assisted dying is concerned, and modern technologies such as face transplant and genetic testing. So by studying this course, we'll be able to understand all those emerging issues and that are associated with medical law and ethics. So this medical law and ethics is divided into five major themes. So medical law and ethics is divided into five major themes, and the first theme is the main concept that deals with the medical law. So these are the main concepts that are like confidentiality and consent. And the second theme is the theme that relate to the consent in relation to medical law. So this theme deals with the issues like who has that consent, who has that capacity to consent. So it's the theme that deals with the consent, and the third theme is the theme that deals with the areas where consent is required. So there are those areas where someone is required to give his consent, like organ transplant. You must consent to organ transplant, or the organ transplant to be given to someone. There are cases like euthanasia. There are cases like assisted dying. When you are in that state that where you feel like you cannot live again, you need to give consent for them to take your life. So this law deals with those issues that relate to consent. Euthanasia, that involves mercy killing. Who has this consent to give permission for this life to be taken? So it also deals with the areas or issues where consent is required. Another theme is issues that are associated with the medical field, and these are issues like issues that a patient has in cases of negligence, issues that deal or associated with the licensing of medicine, and issues that are associated with the provision of healthcare services like NHIF services and financing the entire medical sector. So this law is also concerned with the theme, or the fifth theme, the final theme, that is concerned with the reproductive technology. And this is this with the things like reproductive technology, things like reproductive technology. So that is the fifth theme, and those are the themes that are associated with the course of medical law and ethics. So under the theme of reproductive technology, we have the theme of surrogacy, and this is where someone holds a child who is not his. So this person, there are two people who have resulted to this child being born. So there's someone who has provided that ova, and there's someone who is holding this child. The placenta of someone else is being used, and the ova of someone else is being used. So that is the case of surrogacy. And in determining